Joey here. It is Monday morning, and I'm actually recording this a couple of hours, probably before you're going to watch this. Unfortunately, family emergency came up, and I'm going to need to stay home with the baby. So as you're watching this, I'm probably making sure that I'm feeding my daughter. I'm okay. But just things happen in life and you have to adjust to them. So here's me adjusting to them. I feel like this is kind of a vlog of my life, so welcome to my life. But here's what you need to make sure that you guys do in order to be successful today. What my expectations are for what you need to accomplish. Remember, I said that last week was our last week of normal. I meant that. And today sort of kicks off this brand new mentality that I want to carry into this next unit and into our following projects that are going to be coming up. So let's take a look at what you need to do for today. Make sure you have something, setting a goal for yourself in terms of what you need to accomplish for today, because there's definitely a few moving parts, and make sure that you are getting stuff done. So let's take a look at what you need to do, and let's make sure that you guys are as informed as possible. So let's take a look at some things that you need to remember going into today. All right, so some general announcements just to make sure that you have a firm understanding of some things that are due this week, and some things that are coming up for us. The rough draft, remember your solid rough draft of those 3 graphs for our function project are going to be due on Thursday. Something that I forgot to take into consideration for this week was the fact that we do, as 8th grade, as an entire 8th grade class, we're going on that field trip to the Museum of Tolerance. And yes, I am going with you guys because I've got a ton of 8th graders, and I think it's going to be an awesome trip. So with that being said, those rough drafts that were supposed to be due on Wednesday of this week are going to be due on Thursday instead. So just make sure if you do need to put any final touches on those rough drafts, remember they are just rough drafts. They don't need to be super refined yet. The final product is going to be due next Wednesday before you guys go on break. Also, something that you guys should know that's coming up is those standardized tests that you take on the computer. There's no getting away from those, and I do need to administer that test to you guys this Friday. But never fear, that Friday test is going to be fairly straightforward. I believe the test is only 14 questions long, and we're going to prepare for it before we take that test. It has everything to do with functions, things that we've already been doing, so it should definitely not give you any anxiety, because we're definitely going to have some time to prepare for it, and realize that the direction that we're heading, those tests aren't going to be a very big component of your grade moving forward. So these are a couple of things that we have moving forward. Just make sure that you have them in the front of your mind so you know what you need to accomplish in terms of your rough draft, and prepare your minds for the fact that we are taking one of those standardized tests on the computer this week. So those are the first 2 announcements for today. Let's take a look at the specifics of what you need to accomplish for today. All right, so here is your specific agenda for today. In terms of what you need to make sure you do, obviously, first things first, log on to Google Classroom. If you're watching this video, you probably already did that. So good job, high five. You are accomplishing step 1 of this process. Step 2 is kind of a little different, and today's about getting to know each and every single one of you individually in terms of what your learning style is. So what I've posted is I've posted 3 different quizzes that you are going to take. So you're going to take all 3 of them. I'm not sure if some of the website ones will or won't work. So based on the ones that actually do work on your Chromebooks, just make sure you take as many of them as you can so that you can cross-reference your results. Now realize that the results that you're going to get from these quizzes are going to be based on what your individual learning styles and preferences are. And this is very important information to me, because moving forward, I want to make sure that I give every single one of you, and I mean every single one of you, an opportunity to learn this material in a way that seems fit for you. One of the things that we often do in math is we give a blanket way to cover material and hope that everyone can understand it in the same way. Realistically, we know that learning doesn't work like that. So I need to make sure that I give you an opportunity to make sure that you understand what your own learning style is and that I understand what your learning style is, so that I can give you a chance to understand things at your specific style. With that information, what you're going to be doing, and I posted a template on Classroom, is you're going to be completing this thing called your individual learning plan. And basically on that slideshow, there's a ton of questions on there. Well, not a ton. There's a few questions on there that I really want you to answer honestly and as thoroughly as possible. What this is going to give me again is a clear picture of where you are currently in my class and what you want me to know in terms of how to address your own learning in my class to make you as successful as possible. Now, that slideshow you are not presenting, so don't worry about getting anxiety over presenting that material. I'm going to be the only person looking at it, but it is due by the end of the period today. So make it as good as possible, make sure you're as clear as possible, and make sure that you're as honest as possible. Really, do not type in the answers that you think that I want to see. Type in the answers that are true to yourself, because that'll be the best information for me to look over as we move forward into this new frontier in my class. So this is a good first step for us in terms of the direction that we're heading, because I want to make sure that the direction that we're heading is successful for everyone. So after you do that Google slideshow, you make it look good, you make it as best as possible. The last thing that I'm going to leave for you is a straight up extra credit opportunity. It's another game, so it's like the mini golf game that you guys had a lot of fun with last week, but it's called Central Park. So it's an extra credit assignment. If you get done with everything today, just go ahead and work on that. And that pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up your day. Realistically, the most time that you should spend on something today is on that slideshow presentation, because I really, really need that information. So do your best to get that done, make it good, make it concise, make it complete, and we should be good. So here is the end. Right, so this brings us to the expectations for today. Realistically, like I said, this is the start of something brand new, and this can only be as successful as you guys. I can only lead the movement. In all honesty, you guys are the ones that make it successful. So really, really, really take today seriously in terms of your reflection and getting that slideshow done, because it's going to give me a really good jumping off point to be as successful in this process as possible. So take this time to do genuine reflection and answering those questions in a way that really, really represents yourself. For me, like I said when I was gone for my professional development a couple weeks ago, just be respectful and do your work today. I don't want to get a bad sub note. I don't want to have to come back in a bad mood because you guys didn't get what you needed to get done. Just make sure that you're doing your work and that you're making that considered effort to represent me and yourselves well during this period. You know what my expectations are. You guys hold it down all the time when I'm there. Just be the best versions of yourself today and make sure you get that stuff done. My headphones are always available for you to use. You know where they are. They're in the metal, I don't even know what to call it, the metal paper holder by the door. Just make sure that you put them back in their baggies. You guys have been doing amazing at that. If they break, and they honestly break because you were using them, not because you were fooling around with them, then go ahead and toss them. But as long as they are working, just make sure they get back into their individual baggies so they don't turn into one crazy, complicated, super tangled up mess. So there is your information for today. Just make sure that you're doing your work and holding it down. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with in terms of what your individual learning plans are and who you guys are as learners moving forward. I'm excited for this brand new frontier in our class, and I can't wait to take this journey with you guys. I'm super stoked, super pumped, and I'm going to miss you guys today for sure. So hold it down. I will see you on Tuesday. Well, maybe not on Tuesday because it's block on Tuesday. But if you miss me too much, come by and say hello so that I can give you a high five and a handshake and say what's up. So have a great Monday. Be kind to one another. definitely make sure that you're doing your work again and represent yourselves well. So peace, love, and I will see you guys tomorrow or Wednesday. Peace.